Was the latest drought monitor that was released last week before the rain. We'll get an update to this at 8 a.m. You can check KIIITV.com on the weather tab for the latest updates then. But remember how extreme our drought was? We are going to see big improvements on this monitor today thanks to all the rain we saw over the weekend. But a lot of this rain, especially into Webb County, is going to lead to the potential for flooding along the Nueces River. That's going to be Saturday through Tuesday. We're watching that flooding potential in Live Oak County, Tilden, George West. Those are communities that may be impacted by this flooding. And I want to point out the map or the graph that shows when we could expect that flooding. So right now it looks like Saturday morning we start to enter that flood stage, and then major flooding may be possible as we head into Sunday, Monday, before the water does start to recede and flow into our watershed. Lake Corpus Christi is what's going to see all of this water. So that's the positive note. But some flooding tips: you'll want to move to higher ground, especially as the water does appear to start to rise. Right now the levels are still very low, but don't attempt to drive through a flooded roadway. There may be some evacuation of livestock along the river needed. Again, water may approach the base of homes in Kellner Camp along CR Country Road 336 if the water does reach that 38 feet level that it is forecasted to reach. And of course, if barricades are put up, do not drive around them. They're there for a place. So I mentioned the water flowing into Lake Corpus Christi. It'll be a week or so before we see these numbers really go up. But over the last week, we have seen an increase of 0.2% in our watershed combined level. But right now we are sitting at 36.8. Combined. All of Texas has been dealing with drought. We're going to get some rain for the northern portion today. We've got a stalled out front that's producing some rain across the Red River Valley and into the Metroplex. That's where the higher rainfall totals are going to be, up to 3 inches. And then rainfall totals dwindle as that front weekend stalls and moves out of the way and doesn't quite make it to South Texas. We are going to see the least amount of rain over the next 5 days, even with that tropical system that we're keeping a close eye on. Right now, there is a 20% chance over the next 2 days, 30% chance of development into the Bay of Campeche over the next 5 days. But this is going to be a faster moving system. There is some shear that's going to work to spread this system out in the Bay of Campeche, and that may limit some of the development. You can see that here. We've got a nice area where we see a cluster of atmospheric energy, but that energy starts to spread out along the coast as it interacts with that shear. Heavy rainfall is possible, but it looks like most of that is going to stay south of the coastal bend. We may not see much rain at all on Saturday, but a few isolated scattered storms possible Saturday evening. So rainfall coverage will increase overnight heading into Sunday, but I'm not expecting quite as big of a washout as we saw last weekend. But there may be some heavier rainfall totals for those southern counties. Right now, 77 degrees. Wind is calm out there on our bay this morning. We are looking at a high today of 95 degrees. Heat index values 109. So there's a slim chance for an isolated storm this afternoon with the sea breeze. Most of us are going to stay dry. 77 degrees and breezy overnight. In your day planner, I do want to point out, remember, it's hot. We've been dealing with rain, but our temperatures are going to be around 101 for your feels like temperature there at 11, 109 at 3 o'clock. So that's when you're starting your after school practices, any outdoor activities after school. You will be feeling the heat, so make sure you are staying hydrated. We fall back into the 90s for your feels like temperature by 7 o'clock. Heat index across the region 101 even at the beach, 106 in Sinton, 109 also in Alice. In your 7-day forecast, those temperatures hanging out in the 90s. We fall a little bit with the more cloud coverage and a chance of rain from that tropical disturbance, but otherwise it's still rather hot out there. Barbie, John Thomas. Thank you.